Welcome to the Calm Down Chronicles of Arabella Owl. Today's story is The Dove and the Bat. One sunny day, there was a red-eyed dove flying through the sky. His name was Doug. He had been flying all across the land, from sandy deserts to lush forests. He was flying over awesome acres and noticed how wonderful it was. There were trees, but not too many. There was a stream close, but not too close. Plus, there was plenty of delicious food to eat. Everything that Doug needed. Doug decided that he would like to live in awesome acres. I am going to build a house here, he said. Doug looked for the perfect tree to build his house. He found a big, beautiful tree, and he began to build his home. Doug worked all day. When the sun began to set, Doug headed back to his family for some dinner and a good night's sleep. That evening, a fruit bat named Bernard was flying through the clear night sky. He was looking for a place to live. He had been flying all across the land, from sandy deserts to lush forests. As he was flying over awesome acres, he noticed how wonderful it was. There were trees, but not too many. There was a stream close, but not too close. Plus, there was plenty of delicious food to eat. "This is the place for me," exclaimed Bernard. He flew around awesome acres, looking for a tree to build his house in. He found a big, beautiful tree that would be a wonderful home. Bernard noticed that someone had already began to build a house in the tree. He yelled, "Hello? Does this house belong to anyone?" When no one answered, he decided to continue to build the house and make it his own. He worked on the house all night, and when the sun began to rise, he flew home to his family to rest. At daylight, Doug the dove came back to work on his new house. He said, "Somebody has been helping me." Doug yelled, "Hello? Is anyone here? I want to thank you for your help." There was no answer. So Doug decided to get to work. Doug worked all day. When the sun began to set, Doug headed back to his family for some dinner and a good night's sleep. That night, Bernard the bat returned to Awesome Acres to work on the house. He said, "Someone is helping me. I am so thankful for their help." Bernard got right to work and worked all night. When the sun began to rise, he flew home to his family for a rest. This continued for a whole week. Doug the dove worked on the house during the day, and Bernard the bat worked on the house during the night. At the end of the week, the house was complete. Doug and Bernard decided to move in. Doug brought his favorite snuggly blanket, and when the sun began to set, he didn't go home to his family. He slept in his new house. That evening, when Bernard got to the house, he found Doug sleeping there. "Hello?" said Bernard. "Who are you? And why are you in my house?" Doug jumped out of his snuggly blanket and said, "What do you mean, your house? This is my house. I have been working on this house all week." Bernard yelled, "I have been working on the house all week. It is my house." Doug and Bernard continued to argue about whose house it was. They got louder and louder. Arabella Owl was flying past and heard the arguing. She went down to see if she could help. Arabella Owl suggested that Doug and Bernard take 3 deep breaths to calm down. Let's breathe with the dove and the bat. Take a deep breath and breathe out. Take a second deep breath and breathe out. Take a final deep breath and breathe out. When everyone was calm, Arabella Owl asked what the bat and the dove were arguing about. They told her what had happened. Arabella Owl suggested that since they both worked on the house together, why didn't they share the house and live there together? Do you think Doug and Bernard should share the house? After thinking about it, Doug and Bernard agreed to share the house. They had both worked very hard to make the house. Doug said he had been scared to live all by himself and would love to have someone to live with. Bernard agreed that it would be nice to have a roommate. Doug the dove and Bernard the bat lived happily ever after together in their wonderful new treehouse.
Thanks for watching Arabella Owl.